Hey guys, so I'm gonna hopefully this be quick. After yesterday's long or the last video is a very long video, the upgrade one. So this all I wanted to do is add the ability to start and stop the animations. I definitely want to get a lot deeper into animations, but at this point on this first round, I definitely want to just be able to come in and start and then stop it. And so there it is. You can start it, you can stop it, does its thing, whatever. So that's pretty cool. Um, so so it looks like there was 8 files that I needed to change to make this happen. Um, One of them. Okay, first we'll start with the package file. So basically, I added this animation toolbox manager call. Basically, ng is the command line interface tool, and then G is for generate, C is for component, and then I told it to put it in the toolbox and call it animation manager. So now if we look in our toolbox, we have camera manager, animation manager, and mesh manager, which that makes sense that those would be in the toolbox. So that's cool. Now next is our. I think I'm going to go to the toolbox HTML. Um, so basically, all I did was add a. You know what? I'm going to just maximize this bad boy. There we go. So you can see. So before there was nothing. Now we have this. Basically, there's a matte icon for animation. If there's an icon for something that I'm using, I will do that every time. And then the text animation, and then we include the animation manager component, which is brand new. Let me go back to here and let's just hit refresh. Add the mesh. So that is the animation icon. So some a lot of times when you're doing something, you get lucky. Remember, camera worked, but mesh didn't have anything. It's probably a good idea to use the same one. Okay, so the toolbox component. Basically, all I did in the toolbox component was add import our animation manager. That was it, and that's a good sign in my opinion. Like, this sort of outside toolbox thing probably should not have a whole lot going on in there, and so it's good that all we had to do is import the component, and the component takes care of everything else. Um, so next, I'm going to go to the animation manager stuff. That's all new. So so in the animation manager, all we have is one checkbox. Um, it would be kind of nice. I guess it would have been kind of cool to see this in real time. Just because I went to the Angular material page, found what I was looking for, and then all that. And I do not believe there's anything in here. And this is just the unit tests. And then here we go. I'm just gonna go into the full view here. So basically, we import our checkbox stuff, and this is just like an interface that we use uh, in this for the event. Basically, it's just an event interface, and then this is the library that we use in here, and the module that we import into the component. And so then we inject our Three.js service, and then we have a state variable or I guess a class variable, and I default it to false. I did that just to prove that it would go to true, and wanted to see if we get that weird something changed before um, it was rendered console log error, and we don't. So that's good. And then in this constructor, we do we basically pull in the data. We pull in whether it's checked or unchecked. Um, so that's it really for the. Oh, we have this call to update animations. And so we'll end up looking at this guy and this guy when we look at the service. But and we just pass it a true or false, which is the checked or the unchecked. So this update animation is tied to this checkbox here. So it's probably be a good idea just to do this so it's a little more visible. I actually, in from a practical perspective, I really like separating these into their own lines, because if you're working on a team with a bunch of people, your chances of having Git conflicts go way down if these are on separate lines. But these can get really long, and I've worked in places where this will be like 30 things in here, and then you have multiple people trying to update the same line. So I like to put these on multiple lines, and it tends to be a sort of a battle that I have to fight every 2 weeks, because somebody always comes up with the idea of, let's put these all on one line, and then it's a good time to practice your debating skills. So anyways, I'm going to move over to 3JS service. Let me start. I think this is starting to become my normal sort of routine, is setting up the communications from these services. So there's an animation signal. I just started calling all these signals when they're the private one, that the private signal that's handled and managed from within the service. And then I have another one that has the word value. You typically values, but since this is just a Boolean value, which is basically just the computed value. So this is the thing that everything listens to. So, or this is the thing that we get assigned to. So when you look over here, you get a, let me move this and we'll look at this way. See, we basically subscribe to this animation value change, but animation value it's not writable, so you can't, so nothing outside of this service can modify it. So that's that little pattern. I don't know. Signals are very, very new. I don't know if that pattern is going to hold true, but that's what I'm doing for the nows. So then update animation basically just sets the animation signal to whatever, and then it gets computed and gets published to whoever is listening. So it gets set to whatever gets passed in. And then, and then here's where we wrap inside of the animation code, this animation callback. We just wrap into whether to run the animations or not run the animations. This animation situation is very trivial. It just came from the example. And I definitely want to do a lot more with animations, but I'm foreseeing some pretty significant changes to the structure of how all this comes together, and a round of unification where like all of these like mesh lists and lights lists and camera and animation states and all that stuff are all rolled up into one mega object. And once that happens, I think a lot of animation questions that are up in the air will get resolved. And so it's probably better to kick that can down the road. So in the next video, I'm planning to, let's see, add mesh, basically add lights, and I'm pretty excited about that. And one of the things I don't like about this is I don't like how you can't modify more than one at a time. It would be nice to be able to modify more than one at a time. And it would be nice like if these were visible next to each other. It would be very nice if they were nameable. So like if I have 3 of them and they're in a row, I could call this like row 1, column 1, or whatever. And it would be nice if when I do that, if like you could filter based on that, so I only want to see everything with row 1 in it, or I only want to see everything with row 2 in it, and stuff like that. So it'd be easier to make a bunch. But anyways, we're running running out of time here. So happy coding. Bye. Oh, I'm still recording. Bye.